shit I did. Here coming back around. You know I'm not backing down. They can't love that cat sound. So much shit might back out now.
What's up, guys? And welcome to part number 2 of show 75. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for rocking with me these first, 75 and a half shows. By now, you know where to find me. If you go to SoundCloud, Stitcher, as well as iTunes, search for Trill Withers and the show will come up. Do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe there so that the show will come to you every week. Got the email address. That's trillwitherspodcast@gmail.com. You can send me any kind of questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. I've also got the website. That's lookingupfromthefloor.wordpress.com. Right, as I mentioned, today is part 2 of my conversation with my man Brock Vereen. If you did miss the first part, I'd recommend you go back and check that. We talk about shenanigans, the Kyrie party next door situation. Talking about don't watch her Snapchat if you love her. We talk about how terrible Daredevil is. That was on part 1. Part 2, which you're about to hear, we get into some questions from people about if Brock would let his kids play football. We talk about he and his brother fighting grizzly bears and how poorly, very poorly that would end up for them, and a number of other things. So the next voices you will be hearing are myself, my man Brock Vereen. To get in some of the question, someone had asked, would Brock ever let his kid play football seriously? I'm guessing that's alluding to, all the concussion stuff, the long-term injuries we've been hearing a lot about as far as the NFL.
Yeah, and I've definitely spent much more time thinking about that. That question floats around the locker room, a lot more than I think people imagine. And, I don't have kids. I won't for quite some time, but I decided my answer is going to be, I'm not going to impose it on him. My son has to come to me, Dad, I want to play football in order for him to play football. I'm going to put him in soccer, put him in basketball, baseball, and all that. But the only way I will allow him to play football is it has to be his idea.
Right. That's fair. So I guess what's when it comes up in the locker room, what's the consensus? Or is there one?
Right. There isn't one, but it's getting there. I think the conversation of mental health and long-term effects, that conversation has been happening, but the Will Smith movie's definitely been a catalyst to where it's being taken more seriously now. Yeah, and from my standpoint, isn't necessarily directly related to concussions and is it CTE?
Yeah.
And anything like that. It's more so over the next 10 years, the game of maybe even 5, the game of football is going to change drastically.
Yeah.
And because I don't know what it will look like by the time I have a son and he's in high school, whatever, I couldn't just throw him in it because I wholeheartedly believe that the game will be completely different.
That's fair. Now, your pops played football, correct?
He did, and if you see him walk up a set of stairs, you will never touch a sports field of any kind in your life ever.
I was going to say, so did he ever, I guess, encourage or discourage you, your brother, from playing, or he just kind of let y'all find it on your own, or?
Well, for my brother, he always liked football. He always liked football because he always liked to run, and track, whatever sport it was. He always liked to run, so football just became the natural option, and he wanted to be like his dad. And for me, I was like, I didn't feel forced, but it was, well, my dad and my brother did it. Of course I'm gonna do it.
Right.
But there was never any pressure. It was just implied, I guess. But growing up until high school, baseball was my favorite sport. I just happened to be pretty good at football, so I ended up taking that route.
Yeah, see, that's what I feel like. I feel like baseball and soccer, that's the way. Like, if you've got kids now or going to have kids, I feel like baseball is what you want to get your kid into.
Oh, man. I hate the baseball offseason because it's in the middle of the grind of the football season, and you're seeing dudes signing $200 million contracts like it ain't shit.
Right.
If you ain't making $100 million of guaranteed money in baseball, like, you're doing all right.
See, that's what I like. You don't even have to be like, you'll see somebody had got, I don't follow baseball like nearly as much as I used to, but somebody, I can't remember if it was this offseason or last offseason, legit, I got, I think $110 million. I was like, I've never heard of this person. And I looked at his numbers. He had like 22 home. I was like, 22 home runs is getting you $100 million now? I was like, I got to get in the cages.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, you can play forever. Alex Rodriguez has gotten, I think, 3 different $100 million contracts.
That's insane.
And what's so beautiful about it is baseball is a low-risk sport as far as injury goes, meaning, who is it? I think Stanton signed for $320 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed money. Football, of course, is the only sport without guaranteed.
Of course.
But that means that Stanton could go out there on his first at-bat, get hit in the knee, and be done for the rest of life. Guess how much the Marlins owe him? $320 million. Cash. And I need it now. It is unbelievable how much money goes into it. And it's funny, me and my brother were just talking about this after one of our workouts because there was a baseball player there. And baseball gets 2 legitimate months of off-season. So,
yeah.
Not only does that say how long you can play the sport, because, 10 months of anything will be physically taxing on your body.
Right.
Not baseball, though, because you can play until you're 40, easy.
Right.
But the thing is, you signed 10 years, $300 million, whatever. What are you going to do with $30 million in 2 months?
Yeah, that's a good point. Cause you got by the time you start spending it, you got a pitchers and catchers report. By the time you get to start spending it.
Exactly. You make a playoff run, whatever. You're gonna take at least the first 3 weeks just to yourself before you even go on vacation. You just want to sit and do nothing.
Right.
Then you go to Hawaii, and then halfway through you get that email. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Like, nigga, what?
Like, come on, man. I literally just saw y'all.
I just saw you guys. And you got spring training. You got all this. Baseball fascinates me because baseball is a culture.
Yes.
Let's be honest. From spring training to the season to the playoffs, you could easily make out playing 250 games.
Absolutely. See, and that's what I don't get. Everybody I know very few baseball fans now. Everybody's talking about how it's too long. It's boring to watch on TV. It's too much hassle to go to in person. Yet I'm watching them build a brand new Braves stadium, and I'm watching them give all this guaranteed money. Like, somebody's watching.
Somebody.
Yeah, somebody is watching.
My circle or any circle I know of.
I think that's by design. I don't think they want our circles watching. I think that's all by design.
Baseball has truly fascinated me how quote unquote boring it is. I know that word is sensitive in the baseball world.
Yeah, that's fighting words.
Do I want to see Bryce Harper hit a home run, or do I want to see Steph Curry hit a 3 from 45 feet?
I'll say it's not even close.
And that's the thing is, people even complain that the basketball season's too long.
Yeah. And
they can make, there's an actual argument for that, let alone 160 guaranteed games.
It's absurd, man. See, I've always said, the best spot in baseball, like A-Rod's got the check, and A-Rod, great grandkids never gonna have to worry for nothing. But I feel like A-Rod's backup. That's where you want to be. The guy who can play, he can play a little shortstop, some second base, some third base. And he comes in off the bench for I don't even know who's good now, the Giants or somebody. He gets a couple hits in the World Series, wins a ring, signs a $40 million contract with a terrible team. But then here's where the jig really kicks in. If he does good on that bad team, then the Yankees will trade for him, for a playoff push, and he's right back in the mix. So it's he gets that. He can do it until he's 45 because they're playing. A-Rod plays 160 games a year. His backup 85.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? So he's after the game, he's y'all trying to go out? I got some energy. Drinks on me. I'm trying to get out.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of baseball is you could be not just hungover. I'm sure basketball guys show up hungover. Any sport where you have to play 3-4 games a week, you're gonna be hungover at some of them.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right.
People have birthdays. People have anniversaries. Whatever.
Hey, sometimes it's just Wednesday. That's life.
Yeah. Sometimes it's Wednesday. Sometimes you need a little pick me up.
Exactly.
But the thing about baseball is you can go out there and not get a single hit for an entire week, and they write it off as a slump. How perfect is that? Little do they know you have nothing but whiskey running through your veins right now.
You can't even see the ball coming at you. You can't even see the ball coming at you now. He's 0 for his last 62. He's due for a hit.
He's due for exactly. They're hopeful about
That's beautiful. One thing I just thought about it just in the time we were just talking, like, as a football player, like, we used to see, like, a lot of dual sport athletes. Like, if the Yankees called you right now, do you, like, could you fit that into your schedule? Like, it just seems insane to me that, like, Bo Jackson, like, Deion Sanders, Brian Jordan, these guys were, like, playing football, like, being good at football, like, Pro Bowl talents, and then would go be, like, all-star baseball talent. Like, that's just insane to me. We don't really see it that much.
I think it was Deion Sanders that had a punt return and a home run in the same
like something ridiculous like that. Like, Brian Jordan was a Pro Bowl safety for the Falcons and retired to go be an all-star baseball player. Like, that's insane.
Unbelievable. And what's a bummer is that because kids are getting into specialized training so young, those kind of athletes are going to be non-existent. You know, you go to these training facilities where, you know, a lot of the NFL guys go, a lot of the NBA guys go to train in the offseason. You see teenagers there.
I believe it.
You see 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and what stinks about it is if their parents are forking over the money to be around these kind of trainers, to be around these facilities, to be doing all this stuff with all this special equipment, and if I'm a parent and I'm forking over $10K to do that, and you're going to tell me you want to go play basketball? No, you're playing football.
Correct. You're going to be the quarterback. You understand?
You are going to be quarterback, and you will get a scholarship. You know, and it sucks because there are so many lessons I learned in basketball that I brought to football. There are so many lessons from football I brought to baseball, and it is really rare I see dual sport kids anymore.
That's the crazy part, and it's like. But even, like, as I think about it, if you were playing baseball right now, we wouldn't even having this conversation. You'd be in spring training.
Exactly.
Like, you've got, like, 2 weeks off from football, and you'd be, like, back out there catching fly balls.
Exactly. And as salaries go up in every sport, I think it's going to be rare, because if I'm an owner, in football terms, like, a $300 million deal in football terms, like a $100 million deal. And if I'm giving you $100 million, you're not touching a baseball field. You know? But back in that day, it was so beautiful because, yes, they were still in the top 1%, obviously, but the money was different.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
And it's just a shame because those guys were so special to watch.
I think about that. I also think about, like, Jordan really just, like, retired. Like if Steph just retired right now, it was like, I want to be a punt returner for the Jets. That's been my dream.
Right.
That's just been my dream. Like,
I'm the best. I'm better at what I do than anybody else is at what they do, but I want to do something different because I'm bored.
Yeah, like I played some shortstop in high school. I want to see if I still got it. What? No, you're the MVP. What are you doing?
And then go be a punt returner for the Jets and drop your first 4 punts.
And just get killed.
And you just get killed and then say, I wonder if the Warriors will take me back. Steph comes back with number 52 and picks him right where he left off. Like,
he's still hitting shots from 38. I wonder like that too. Like now, if Steph did it, like they would kill him. Like he didn't have the heart. He didn't have the desire. Like Jordan was bored because he wasn't in the Twitter era or whatever. Like Skip Bayless, like his head would fly off his body. Like if LeBron tomorrow was like, you know what? I always thought I could play some left field for the Marlins. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm taking my talents back to Miami to play left field for the Marlins. I'm going back to South Beach. Folks will kill him. He doesn't have the will to win, man. He doesn't have the heart, the desire.
People would drag him through the mud, and I am thankful that social media came in my generation because I can look back. As a matter of fact, we talked about this last time, how you can look back on your heroes in a strictly positive light.
Yes.
You don't. They weren't able to be dragged through the mud. And it's weird because there isn't going to be another Michael Jordan, not from the standpoint of talent. You know, who knows? I mean, there could be another Russell Westbrook that could shoot like Steph Curry, you know, in the making right now.
It's coming.
From an icon standpoint, there won't be another because they can go back and find your tweet from when you were in high school calling a girl a bitch. They can go back to that Facebook picture from 8th grade where you had a gun, you know?
Like, and you're done.
Exactly. And you're done, and people will always be arguing over you. You know what I mean? Even Braun arguably definitely one of the best ever. You can make an argument the best ever, whatever. But because of social media, because it is so easy for me to argue with a guy in Florida, in Texas,
right?
Like, opinions are so severed now, and there won't be a unanimous hero like Michael Jordan was ever again.
I was thinking about that. Like, well, first of all, like, even that, like, we see Steph now, and by all accounts, like, Steph's a good guy, a family man, all this stuff. And even then, like, they killed him for stuff his wife said. They killed him for stuff like his church in North Carolina. I was like, man, he went to that church probably 10 years ago, man. What does that have to do with, like, what are we saying?
Dude, see, Steph, by all accounts, is the golden child. Has never gotten in trouble. Doesn't talk reckless. The worst picture you could find of him is with two husky white women, and that's what people used to make fun of him. Like, so what do has two beautiful children? So what do people do to get to him? They go after his wife. Like the internet will come and get you one way or another.
As I'm saying,
times have changed.
It's coming for us all. Like, that's just what I've grown to realize. It's, if the internet hadn't got you at her yet, it's not your turn yet.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Because again, like, you see a guy like again, a clean cut, and again, by all accounts, like a nice guy. Like, this isn't just some phony act. He just legitimately seems like, a nice guy, a family guy, and all that. And it's still like, man, did you see what his wife put on Facebook? What? No, I didn't. Why did you see what his wife put on Facebook?
It is unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
I don't know, man. Well, let me ask you. This is another question, but I guess, like, talking about the internet era. Have you been crying Jordan faced? Like, or I guess that you're aware of.
Thankfully, I have only been crying Jordan face in a joke setting, in like a friend's group chat, and it never made its way to Twitter. But in a way, isn't that a compliment? It means that you've made it, right? Absolutely.
It's bittersweet, but again, like, they don't just, so they don't just put it on anybody. Like, you have to have, some amount of status to even get the Jordan face.
Exactly. You have to be doing something right to be high enough in the rankings to be dragged down.
That's one way to look at it.
Exactly. But I will say that this Mr. Krabs meme is giving Jordan face a run for his money. My goodness.
It's undefeated. Over here, the Krabs face is undefeated.
I have damn near been brought to tears. I mean, it is... I don't know who started it, whatever, but like you said, it is undefeated. I have not died at one yet.
The one that it's tears in my eyes just thinking about it. It's the one where it's like when you in the line to get in the heaven's gates and you hear somebody scream out, "Man, that nigga gay!" And
oh my god, that one is like the classic. Like, even when I see a different one, I think of that one.
Yeah, like, that was I had seen the picture and I was like, okay, this is funny. That's the one that, like, brought, like, everything made sense. The puzzle pieces.
It all came together. I thought I understood the meme, but once I saw that, I was like, I get it now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in that, like, they put Kyrie in the, like, they kind of, like, blurred background. They put Cat Williams in it. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping. I enjoy Jordan face, but I'm really high on Mr. Krabs face right now.
It is hilarious. And my favorite one, they had Mr. Krabs with a headband on and said, when you play a D and you hear somebody yell, expose him, I was dead. I was dead because it's so true. Everybody has been in these situations. And it is so
Clear
true.
out. Clear out.
They threw Future in there too. And, oh, man, it was too funny.
Oh, man. That, oof. See, that's like Jordan playing never got Mr. Krabs face, man. He never had to deal with that.
He didn't have to deal with it. I mean, like, it gets to a point, especially in a sport like basketball, where you're not wearing any helmet, so your face is out there. You are easily photoshopped at any moment. Like,
absolutely.
There have to be moments where, like, you just get dunked on, you just turn the ball over, you just got the game-winning shot scored on you. You have to think, I'm going to be a meme in the morning.
Yeah, see, it was a kid the other day in the NCAA tournament, and while he was sitting on the bench, he just had, like, his head between his knees, and I was like, yes, like, that's, like, don't give him the material. Now he's still, now they, yeah, is that what you got to do now? Yeah, now they still got him. Now they'll take, like, your like your team picture with your suit and tie and put Jordan face on it.
Something.
Yeah, so they'll get you. But I like where his head was at.
It's almost a testament to how talented these people are.
Yeah, I would say football's.
The internet are assholes. They were dragged through the mud, but they are so talented. I mean, just it's unbelievable.
That's because I feel like last time you were on the show, I feel like Crying Jordan existed, but since then people just got better at it.
You're right. It's actually gotten better.
Like people will they'll do it for football. Like the funniest football one I saw was Ryan Fitzpatrick, because they put him like the beard was on him, the helmet was everything, and it was just crying like Jordan's eyes. That shit killed me.
That is next level.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I don't know. Like you, again, as you see it, you understand. Like this is kind of a tip in my cap, because it meant I made it enough to be mean. But still, please. I'm asking nicely. Please don't mean me.
Please. I don't ask for much, but I beg of thee. Leave me out of your Photoshop.
I got a mother that loves me, man. Please don't let her see her baby boy crying Jordan face.
Now on the flip side of the memes though is, how awful is it to have to explain it to somebody who's over 40 years of age?
Oof. I'm trying to think. I've never had to do it, but just the thought of trying to explain it to I've got a particular aunt who doesn't understand anything current, and just her. But why was he crying? Where was he at? Michael Jordan doesn't play for the Jets. Why is he? I was like, you don't understand.
You just don't get it. You just don't get it. And I mean, I think after the Super Bowl was mine, we had a lot of family friends over, and everybody under the age of 30 was dying, sharing sharing each other's phones and sending people pictures, and we're all laughing. So of course they, the older generation come over and try and laugh with us, and they're like, I don't get it. Right. And as you explain it to them, you realize, well, this isn't funny anymore. I guess we got to do something else now. Yep,
that's just okay. Once your great aunt's like, oh, okay, I get it because he's sad. You're like, all right. All right. Just keep Aunt Gladys. Just keep it Aunt Bernice.
You got it.
All right. Next question somebody asked us is Future or Young Thug?
Man, I mean, Clash of the Titans. But if I were to compare it to anything, and I definitely spent some time thinking about it, I would compare it to last year's Warriors team. Future was Steph Curry. Young Thug was Klay Thompson. Steph Curry got the accolades, got the endorsements, got the money, got the memes, got the social media blow up, got the notoriety. But that doesn't mean that Klay Thompson is still on a historical pace.
Right.
Steph was the front man for that team, so he got the credit. But Klay Thompson is on pace, I believe, to make history.
Absolutely. Any number you see, he might have actually beat Steph on one or two, just because Steph, had his injury stuff early on. But right. Fastest to 200, 300, 400 3-pointers made, and it's still getting better. Klay is still getting better, and he's 25? I don't know how old Klay is.
Young.
He's very young.
Yeah, and that's what's incredible to me is. Yeah, Future had the blow up. He was on a commercial here and there. He was getting his lines referenced on SportsCenter, yada yada. But don't think for a second Young Thug wasn't stride for stride with him. And
absolutely,
has, in my opinion, surpassed him now.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so what's the point you feel like he surpassed him?
I think once Evil came out and I'm Up came after that, I had to give the edge to Thug. Now, that could change by the end of the year. I know Future is always up to something, same as Thug is. But I hold both of them in the same tier. But right now, I got to put Thug ahead. I think Future was ahead all of last year. Last year was Future's year. But right now, it's Thugger season.
I can't even disagree, because what I said it to somebody and they got upset. I almost had my fade ran. I said Future Future easily had more commercial success. I think he had the first half, but the last half of that year going into this year, I think it's Thug, man. Like Thug is on like a just a stupid run right now.
Insane run. And it's not even that he's putting out, it's not that he doesn't have a bad project. See, to me, what gave him the edge is, what was the name of that horrible tape that came out before Evil?
Purple Rain?
Purple Rain. Like,
See, you wasn't fucking... Wait,
bad.
So you didn't like Evil or Purple Rain?
No. What I'm saying is Future had a bad project. I can't point to a Thug project and say that was a bad project.
I got you. See, Purple Rain grew on me. It's still, not one of my favorites. I go back to songs on it, but like just running that whole tape, I'll probably never do that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like the one argument right now for Thug, like as good as Thug is, I really don't feel like he's found his lane yet.
He hasn't. And although that I think might hurt him from a who's better standpoint, I think it helps him in the long run.
Agree.
I think we've seen what Future has. He can get better at what he does, but when you know what Future is going to bring to the table, there are multiple Young Thug songs or projects that you say these couldn't have come out within the same decade.
Right.
He's maybe not reinventing himself, but critiquing things here and there. And I love how whichever producer DJ he works with, it's a completely different project with a completely different sound. See,
that's the thing. Like, I feel like Future found his lane with Metro. Like, they can get in the lane and make music. But again, Future's like 31, 32. It took him that many years. Thug is like 22, 23. Like, he does good work with London. London on the track. He does good work with everybody, but I still don't feel like London is his sound. Like, I don't know if he's found that person yet. And I feel like once he does, like, that's going to be extra scary.
It is insane. And I mean, like, you can put on either of them in the club and people are going to go crazy. You could put on either of them in traffic and you're going to vibe out too. Like, they're both making great music consistently, and I'll hear an argument for either having the advantage, but I think Young Thug has a step or two on him right now, but the race definitely is far from over.
That's fair. That's like, I look at it like LeBron. Like, Future is LeBron. We've seen some great years, but is LeBron going to get any better than he is now? Probably not. And that's fine too. It doesn't mean he can't still give us, 25 a game. And Thug is like Kawhi Leonard or somebody. Like, he's 23, man. He's gotten better every single year. Is he better than LeBron right now? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an argument, and a couple years ago, it probably wouldn't even been an argument.
Not at all. And the fact that, I mean, was I'm Up an actual album?
I think it was.
Barter 6, as far as I'm concerned, was like the only thing you could find in a store.
Yeah, Barter 6 was. I want to say I'm Up. I want to say I'm Up was an album, and not all the Slime seasons were tapes.
Raw mixed. Okay. See, that's the thing too is, I think what's going to cloud the argument is that Future has the commercial success. He has songs with Drake. He has songs with The Weeknd. You're going to hear Future on the radio. Doug, you got to go to SoundCloud. You got to go to Twitter. You have to do this and that to find his music. His biggest collab might be with Travis Scott on the tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the quality is still there.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's like, because again, I don't even think Future was making tapes like that at Thug's age.
No, absolutely.
Like, I think
people forget Future had to reinvent himself. Future was obviously had much more success than 2 Chainz when he was what was the first name? Titty Boy?
Yeah, Titty Boy.
But it was a similar path as far as I've had success, but, well, even though Titty Boy had no success, but Future had success, and he dropped Honest, and then for whatever point, disappeared for about 6 months and came back, like, oh, who the hell is this?
He got his heart broke, man. He became Shenanigans and turned into a monster.
I mean, hey, if that's what heartbreak and lean does to you, then I'm here to enjoy it.
That might actually be like a note that Kyrie is about to go on like just an incredible run.
Right. Just savage Kyrie.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I mean, a heartbreak has brought us tremendous things.
Absolutely. Pain in general has brought us tremendous things.
In general, like my personal pain, have I enjoyed it? No. Have I enjoyed Kanye's pain? Absolutely.
Will I continue to enjoy it? Certainly.
I love 808s.
Of course.
Have I enjoyed Future's pain? Absolutely. I mean, it has brought out a lot of beauty. So if you're suffering, just hope that someone else out there is benefiting from it.
Let me, why do you think that is? Why do you think such great art comes from pain?
I think that however you see the world right now, if something is taken from you, you're going to see it completely differently. And that sounds really cliche, but shit, I mean, we've all had our heart broken, and for that next week, like the color green looks different. Like,
right.
Your favorite song sounds different. You know what I mean?
Do I even like chicken, man? What
exactly. Like, man, I've been waiting to go vegan. Like, and I think that through those couple weeks of experimentation, if you just so happen to be in a music studio and you lay down some music, you can come back afterward and be like, yo, I kind of like that vibe I was on. I need to explore that more. So instead of getting out of the funk, you stay in it and see what gets created from it.
I could get with that. It's like when you happy, I mean, from what I've told, I've never experienced this. I imagine that you...
this happiness thing, I've only seen it in the dictionary.
Yeah, what I've read about it. Like, I imagine you're only looking at things from one perspective. When you're sad, you got to look at things from every perspective. Like, you're looking for the joy. You're looking everywhere for it. You're happy, you already found it. What you got to look for?
Absolutely.
So so it's like I would never wish, pain, physical or otherwise, on anybody. But when I did see that, Sierra and Russ were getting engaged, I was like, "Ooh, this next tape gonna be fire."
Fire.
Like, oh man.
I can't. It's sad that that's what we've come to. It's sad that we kind of want Drake to get into a relationship so that it could implode and we could get a dope ass tape out of it. But I mean, if you're gonna be sad, at least somebody gets to be happy.
I was gonna say, yeah, someone should, and you benefit financially,
and everybody wins.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so with the Drake, we're supposed to get our views from the 6. I'm guessing the next couple of weeks. Are you hyped for it? How you feel about it?
I'm lower on it now than I was probably 5 months ago.
Why?
I think that the thrill of going into spring, coming out of winter with, man, Kanye got a tape coming, Rihanna got a tape coming, Drake got something coming, Doug got 2 projects rumored to drop, that whole buzz was there. Well, we got all of that, and I'm satisfied with a lot of it.
Right, like if we don't get it, I'm good.
Exactly. Now, views to me, will it be great? Of course it will. Is there hype about it? Yes, but I'm just lower on it now than I have been because I feel like the hype of all the projects that were going to come over these next months was kind of like a package deal. As far as so many projects are coming out in such close amount of time, I'm excited. And now it's, man, this was a hell of a start to 2016 musically. Oh, yeah, we still have views. You know
right, yeah, now, like, by the way.
When it comes out, well, of course, it's going to go off in the club. It's going to be on the radio. It'll be on commercials, whatever. But as of right now, I mean, like, if it dropped right now, I'll get to it by the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right. You wouldn't stop what you were doing. Like, oh, man, that views drop. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but like I said, of course, the expectations are high. He's taken, if you're reading this is too late, came out like Valentine's Day last year. So he's taken well over a year to work on it. I'm excited, though. It's just not the hype I had, say, in December.
That's fair. See, my thing, the reason I can't get hype over new Drake projects, and again, like you, I'm gonna get to it, of course. If it dropped right now, I wouldn't stop what I'm doing. But like you said, by the end of the week, I'd have it listened to. But my thing with Drake's projects are, they never stick with me long. Like, I think he makes great, like if he drops something in April, it sound good for the summer. It sound good through April, May, June, July, August. And there's a talent in that, catching the moment or whatever, catching whatever sounds good. But next February, am I still gonna be listening to it? I still listen to Beast Mode. I still listen to Barter 6. I still listen to 56 Nights. All that.
I haven't listened to a track off. If you're reading this, it's too late in 2016, probably.
Like I go back to tracks. Like the only Drake project I would say the one I go back to most is probably So Far Gone, and that was some of his early work. And I liked Take Care when it came out. I think I'm one of the few. I like Thank Me Later. I know a lot of people don't like that album. I like that album at the time, but I never listened to it now. So how much did I really like it?
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it in that sense that it'll, like you said, with all the good music we've got, it'll carry us through the summer, no issue. But like, am I going to be listening to it in 6 months after that? A year? 2 years? Is it going to stick with me? I don't know. I'm doubtful.
I'm expected to, because then you think about, I mean, so the thing is, views will drop whenever it drops. By August, we're going to have at least 2 more Duggar and Future tapes.
Right.
I don't know. It has to be. See, this is the thing. With music so easily to mass produce now, it is so much harder to have lasting power.
I would agree with that.
It's so much harder to have lasting power.
I would agree with that. Everything's so instant. Like, why would it have lasting power? Like Future dropped, there was a snippet like of a Future song last week I saw people talking about it, and nobody's talking about it now. And it was dope. Like it was good. It wasn't like he's just putting shit out now. No, it was good, and it just kind of came and went. That's just the way it goes.
That's the thing. I listened to it once. I was like, damn, this is dope. I forgot to download it, and this is my first time thinking about it again.
I can't even think of the title of it. Like, and I liked it.
I have no idea what the title is.
So I don't know. Yeah, like I'm excited for it, for views in that sense, but I'm not. I guess I kind of try to keep my expectations low so I can be pleasantly surprised.
There you go.
I feel like that's the key.
There you go. That is the key for many, many aspects of life.
All right, so for the last question for the day we received, it is, if Brock and Shane had to tag team fight a grizzly bear, but the bear was half its normal size, who would win? So you and your brother versus a dwarf grizzly bear.
See, that's the thing. A dwarf grizzly bear is still a big-ass animal.
Correct.
I think we last 2 minutes.
Both of y'all combined.
We both are absolutely dying. I mean, when a grizzly bear is on its hind legs, we're talking like 9-10 feet.
I was gonna say, yeah, like you cut it in half, it's still like 5 feet and probably like, I don't know, like 400 pounds. Like, yeah.
400 pounds? I mean, and we still have to factor in that they have sharp ass claws and its jaw is still strong.
Yeah.
I think that we are both fucked.
Yeah. Like I was reading something. Like I think grizzly bears get slept on in general.
Okay, I have had many a Twitter argument about this. I've said this from day one. There is no animal that can beat a grizzly bear in a fight. I'm sorry. I agree with that. Once I read that, was it the slap of a grizzly bear's paw killed a tiger? Yes. And that their skull, they shot a 357 Magnum at it, and the bullet did not penetrate. Once I heard that, I was like, "What? Stop it! Like, what's going to fuck up a grizzly bear? Nothing." Nothing. And people. I have. There was a time where I spent like 24 hours arguing in my notifications. This was like my junior year in college. I was like, "Yeah, you ain't know no better." There's no animal. I mean, not only the force, let alone the fact that with that force, that skull-crushing force, comes its sharp-ass claws that will rip you in half. Oh, yeah. Like, I guess I don't really see, like, there's not a weakness. Like, they can fight on all fours. They can fight on their hind, too. They're fast. They're bulletproof by nature. Yeah, like, they're fast. They're tall. They're strong. They're quick. Like, what's the weakness here? Like, what's a lion going to do to a grizzly bear? A grizzly bear put it in a Steiner recliner. Grizzly bear would... That's the thing. I mean, you can't outrun it. It's faster than you. You damn sure can't climb faster than it. Nah. You can't hide from it because its sense of smell. Like Daredevil. I mean, the only thing that there is to do is square up. Go out like a man. That's all you can do. Even now, I don't know if you've seen, have you seen all the... I think it was like a website or an account. It was like bears doing things. Yeah, have you seen? Bears are people. Yeah, like bear. It was like they open up like car doors.
They it was like bears on a jet ski.
Park benches,
Yeah, they be sitting on
tables.
Yeah, they be like having picnics with their family, their wife and kids. There was a grizzly bear on a jet ski. Like, he wasn't like just laying on it. No, he was like sitting, like his hands were on the pedals. Like, he figured the shit out.
Like he saw a human do it and said, "I could do that."
Yeah, I could do that. Like, I feel like we've got to stay in their good graces, because once grizzly bears decide, like, damn, we could be running this, I feel like that's it for us. That's it.
Yo, if grizzly bears and polar bears and I heard brown bears are kind of weak, but if they join the party too, if they all become self-aware and be like, yo, nobody out here can stop us, it's quiet for us.
Yeah. And even then, I feel like that's self-aware. I feel like that's a matter of time, because they're so smart.
Yes. If they can figure out how to ride jet skis, they can fit, man, I don't know. It won't happen in our generation, but grizzly bears might be running shots some Planet of the Apes type shit here and there.
Lord, I hope it's not our generation. Like think about that. Like, a grizzly bear, like, he's strong enough, he could easily pull the door off the car completely. But he said, "Let me try this handle first." Oh, okay, that worked. Like think about the level of intelligence of someone who could just eat the door. He's like fucking Magneto. He's got the brains and the brawn. Like, he could just fuck everything up.
Everything up, and if they team together, man, it's so where I'm at in California, it's not necessarily the woods, but there's trees, there's mountains, and my biggest fear is not seeing some rattlesnake. It's not even seeing a mountain lion or a grown bear. It's seeing a cub, because the mother is around,
right?
And you are dead.
Like, I wasn't even doing nothing, man.
There's nothing you could do.
Ugh.
Nothing. Like that is my greatest fear. Like, whenever I hear like a rustling in the bushes, like, Lord, please be a mountain lion. Like, please be a fucking python.
Like, whew, it was only a coyote.
If that is a baby bear, I'm fucked.
Oh, it was only a lynx. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Exactly. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing you could do.
Like, I read that question, I was like, damn, I'm gonna miss Brock and Shane. That's a damn shame. Those are good guys, man. I'm gonna miss those guys. They have to fight like this dwarf grizzly bear.
So to bring everything full circle, I know we went off a little tangent, but there's not a chance in the world, because it's just as strong. If anything, it's even more agile.
Yes. Like, I feel like the one thing I would just want to see, like, I just want to see like a grizzly bear at the combine.
Oh.
Like, if they could, like, like, they're smart, like, they could talk a grizzly bear into, like, a grizzly bear be like a great left tackle, right?
A hell of a left tackle.
Like, who's getting past, like, Von Miller, he just get put on his back. They just pancake.
Yeah, Von Miller is having the longest day of his life of a grizzly bear at left tackle. I mean, I don't see how you beat it like that. That is, man. I'm trying to think of an animal that could give it some kind of hell off the edge, but I really don't think there is one.
Like, if you just send like a Siberian tiger off the edge, like Khalil Mack, and the grizzly bear just stonewalls him.
Stonewalls, like I'm talking like hand under the face mask, like helmet lifting up, like stuck.
It's like, man, it's the third quarter. Khalil Mack's been held off the box score. He didn't have any tackles.
No penetration.
Not a pass defense. Nothing.
A grizzly man, a grizzly bear left tackle's hell. I mean, as far as combine goes, 40 time through the roof. Vertical is unnecessary. You just gotta stand on the tiny legs. And
also, yeah,
reach.
Yeah, like standing reach. I feel like the bench press, like, they'd be there for hours.
They'll be there for hours.
Like the Grizzly Bears did 124 reps of 225.
And then stopped because it saw that there was honey in the cafeteria.
Right, he knocked everything off the table and ate 14 fish and 3 buckets of honey. And then came back and did 86 more reps.
Nah, I'm telling you, a grizzly bear is the most slept on animal ever. And if y'all ever come to California and you see a baby cub, you don't have time to make a phone call, so just text your family. I love y'all. It was fun.
I would say, I try to say a quick prayer, like right before the grizzly bear, like, it's gonna like pat you on the head and then just like rip your chest apart.
2 pieces.
Like just shreds. I feel like grizzly bear murder is a good place to go out on. I don't know if we're gonna top you and your brother getting brutally murdered by a 4-foot grizzly bear.
Nah, man. From shenanigans to Grizzly Bear, I think I call that a full day's work.
I would agree with that. My man Brock Vereen, thank you for coming through the show.
Anytime, my man. Appreciate it.
No doubt. All right, and with that said, that brings the second part of show number 75 to a conclusion. I want to thank my man Brock Vereen for joining me. I want to thank you all for rocking with me these first 75 shows. You know where to find me by now. Again, if you go to SoundCloud, Stitcher, as well as iTunes, search for Trill Withers, the show will come up. Do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe there so that the show will come to you every week. Got the email address set up, as I mentioned. That's trillwitherspodcast@gmail.com. Again, trillwitherspodcast@gmail.com. And I've got the website, that is lookingupfromthefloor.wordpress.com. Again, lookingupfromthefloor.wordpress.com. As always, guys, thanks so much for the support, and stay righteous.